Business can be very stressful, especially if you have to serve a variety of clients and if you have multiple employees, plus a lot of partnerships and a huge, huge, huge amount of work to do. And for that reason, I simply created a controversial video. I do not tell you how to do more, and how to do the best of this, how to do the best of this. Obviously, I help you how to do the best in a specific thing, but I will talk about rest. I will explain you how to rest like a business owner. These rest methods helped me to build a company at 19 years old with several clients, with several employees, and while I go to the gym 5 to 6 times a week, while I spend time with my friends and my family, and while I have a loving relationship. So, if you want to do all of this, then you need to have the proper rest systems, because you do not have the capability to save time at work. You need to save time for rest, and therefore you need to rest efficient. So, with no further ado, let's get into it, and I will simply guide you through the systems, and after that you will know what to do and when to do. So what you see here is the guide of rest. This is a module you learn in my program. Yeah, obviously I sell a high ticket program, but I do not care if you click the link, just watch the video. I do not want anything from you. You can get a copy of this. I do not need email from you, just grab it and use it. So, introduction. In this guide, we will explore the vital importance of rest. And therefore I introduce you in the 90-10 strategy. That is a proven method entrepreneurs do. This method, the 90-10 method, I will explain to you, is used by several entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and so on. They all use it. Obviously, all in a different manner and perfectionized for them, but as always, you need to find the best thing for yourself by applying general systems and specificating them for you. And therefore, we will take a look at this. But why actually is rest important? Well, obviously, we cannot work 100,000 hours straight without resting 1 second. Obviously, we need to recover. We are human beings. We are evolved for rest. We are evolved for sleep, and we are evolved for rest. Try out working for 200 days straight, 12 hours a day. I guarantee you can't do it. And if you're capable of doing this, congratulations, you suffered a lot of mental illnesses. And therefore, please stop it, because those mental illnesses will cause you more trouble than a 10-day rest. Okay, so you need rest. Simple terms, here are some basic words, but you maybe know one of those. Mental clarity, emotional stability, physical recovery, peak performance, and burnout prevention. So those are the things why rest is important. When you do not rest, you are not mentally refreshed. You are not emotional stable. You are not recovered physically and mentally. And you do not reach peak performance, therefore. Professional athletes like NFL players recover and take rest days. And they do this because they have a physical workload. But why do you think that entrepreneurs do not have a workload too? they have a mental workload. They have the same amount of stress, they burn a lot of calories too, and they do the things, but not physically, more mentally. But they also need to rest. Your brain is a part of your body too, and like muscles, your brain needs to rest too. So, you will have a better and more productive work and life with resting. And here's a strategy I will share to you. This is a strategy I use. I use this obviously in quite a different manner, but more about this later on. So, the strategy is called 19 days work and 10 days rest. And this is just for those of you who want to work intensely on something. Work for 90 days and rest for 10 days. After that, you will feel better. When you are able to work 90 days on something focused, 12 hours, 14 hours a day, 80 hours a week, goal oriented, and I guarantee you, you will earn more money. And when you do this, when you do work 90 days focused with no work to do, and you can take a 10-day complete rest. And when I mean complete rest, I mean shut down everything. No MacBook, no phone, nothing that associates your life with work. The best case would be fly with friends, family, or with your girlfriend to a lonely island with just pen and paper and a few games and things you love besides your work. That's what you need to do. Nothing. No messenger. You are not available for 10 days. That's something, by the way, Sam Altman does. Maybe you know him. If you clicked on the video, you might be familiar with him. If you're not, Charlie Morgan, you might know it. He does it too. So, benefits. I say benefits are that you learn how to consistently work for a short period of time, how to keep tension during hard time periods. Plus, you prevent burnout because you have the rest time, so you have more days to totally recover, and after that you're fresh, and then you can go back to work and work and work and work until you are close to this down and tuck. I can show this in my Miro. I will draw this for you. I will draw this for you. Wait a sec. So, yes, create new board. You need to think of this like this. By the way, thanks for being here. Many people would be gone after that. So, you need to see this here. You have a stress capability, and you have time and work. So, work over time, and this here is actually burnout. And this is what we are trying to do. This is what we are trying to do. We always want to be close to burnout, but never burn out. And therefore we need to shut down the graph, then return to work, go close to the burnout, because this year, close to burnout also means highest workload. So, if you realize this, that you work plus time equals stress, but only if you are physically, mentally not aligning. That means when your physical life, your physical world, and your mental mind, your brain, is not correlating. For example, you have an idea, but you do not know how to solve it, you will feel stress. But once you realize how to solve it and you actually do actions to solve it, you will have this boost and you will not feel stressed. You only feel stressed once you have this physical and mental misdirection. If they do not align, then there is no way for not being stressed. That's the way why people burn out, because their brain and their life do not correlate. That's the only reason. And because this happens over time, naturally, because of this year, because we stack up problems, and small problems, over time, you will die. And therefore, we do a cut. And that cut is a rest. And we do it in 5 different ways. There are 5 types of rest methods you need to apply to be fully rested. Okay? You cannot use one of those. Use all of them. Please. Your brain needs to be treated like a car. You need to have 4 tires to drive. So, you need to have 4 wheels to drive. So, let's take a look at them. The first rest method is passive rest. And this is simply sleep. When you do not sleep properly during your 90-day pure work, dedicated work, sleep. Sleep is the #1 rest method. You can do anything of this besides of sleeping and you will not feel rested. The human body is biologically conditioned for rest, for sleep. Rest is often associated with sleep, so focus on sleep. And if you want to have proper metrics, get an Oura, but more about the Oura in my program. I will do a video about this if you want to. Let me know in the comments. So, if you sleep properly, you are better at work. Other alternatives are napping. That's when you have very few periods of sleep. That's when you have very few amount of sleep for a variety of days. And that means simply this can be applied during those 19 days. Just nap and you are good to go. Last thing is relaxation. And relaxation is reading, listening to music, or watching a movie. But pay attention. These should be techniques you are actually not doing anything. When you read a book about how to get more clients, then you are not relaxing. When you listen to a podcast from Alex Hormozi, for example, you are not relaxing. When you watch a video, a documentary about the Roman Empire, maybe you're relaxing, but I hope you get the point. Do brainless things. Do things you enjoy to get away from your work. If you avoid working in this amount of time, you will have the craving for work. If you can have something you do not, if you can't get something you do not have, when you can't get the thing you want to have, then yeah, obviously you cannot have it. Then obviously you want it. So, do anything besides working and do the things you enjoy. So, then there is the active rest, and that is also rest. Rest for our body. Relaxation and recovery. Walking, yoga, stretching. Those are my 3 go-tos. Walk 10,000 steps a day minimum. Please walk in the nature. Go for a walk. Now, stand up, pause the video, and go for a walk for 1 hour, and I guarantee you, you will feel better after that. Yoga, there are thousands and hundreds of videos about yoga techniques. Try them out if they are fit to you. Stretching, I have a whole stretching protocol. Anyways, I will show them to you in another video. But keep in mind, stretching is also an active rest method for your muscle, for your physical body. And then there is the mental rest. And the mental rest is literally the brain disconnecting thing. You want to disconnect not only your physical body from the world, that means from your work, you want to disconnect your mind from the work. And you do this by different exercises. So, and the number one exercise you can do is disconnect. Just quit. Cut everything that you associate with work. And your brain needs to do things. And then you do not work stuff. You do things you want. And how do you actually do this? For example, you did cold calls for 90 days. Cold calls. That was your number one priority. So now, obviously, on a deep psychological matter, you crave for humans. Because the only way you could hear human beings was during the calls. So what you now do is, instead of going to cold calls again, you have fun with people. So please identify not this year. Cold call, the need for cold call. Please ask why you have the need for cold call. And most of the time, it's pretty primitive. It's because we are a social animal, because we want approval, because we want partner, and in other words, we want to get food, get water, and reproduce. This is simply what the human mind is all about. Food, water, reproduce. Why do you think entrepreneurs build businesses? To get girls or men to reproduce, to get higher status, therefore higher status in the food chain, therefore more safety. It's all about the safety game. And therefore, identify this for yourself. So when you crave something, then identify what needs you need to do and what needs you need to fulfill, and then fulfill them, but not with business aspect. So therefore you can use meditation. I will have a meditation video on this channel, and deep breathing. I will have a variety of deep breathing videos on this channel. More about this later. So that was number 3. Number 4 is the social rest. The social rest is a rest that can be seen in 2 different ways. Number 1 is you saw too many people. Number 2 is you saw too little people. And therefore, we have 2 different ways. The break from relationships or using relationships as a break. So, if you had 200 employees to to please for 90 days straight, maybe a quiet holiday with your wife might be the right opinion. Or even a holiday alone. But if you sat there in your dark room for 90 days and worked on a program and talked to no one else besides your mom, your barber, and the lady from the grocery store, then maybe you consider having a holiday with friends, family, and you do stuff with them. You see the world. We are social animals. Please your needs. So, last but not least, the spiritual rest. This is a very controversial topic because this is a contrast to all of the thing everyone tells you, and even I tell you. We are human beings and we have to fulfill needs, and that is reproduction and not to die. Obviously, water, drink, shelter, everything that helps us to do so. And then we have the spiritual aspect, something we need to have that is higher than us. We have something in us called, in our program we call it the virtual mentor. And those little man is the person that tells you to work hard to get things. This is the person who helps you to do short-term sacrifice for long-term results. And what we can see is that this year will be activated with spirituality. And this can be faith in any manner. I do not know what faith you have. I do not care what faith you have. But you should have faith at all. If you do not have faith, you are a lonely person. Then the next aspect is we have nature. So we spend time in the nature because anything is nature. Everything is nature. And at any time we can connect to it. If you are not connected to nature, you are not connected to you. Try it out. It might sound voodoo, I know, but try it out and thank me after it. And last but not least, reflection. What you do, what your values are, and who you want to be. Who you are right now, and who you want to be. And the gap between it. These are the three things that help you to grow in life. So, those are the 5 methods of rest: 90-day work, 10-day rest. I usually work in between 80 to 100 days without resting, and then I have a 7 to 14-day holiday. So it depends. I often have 3 to 4 times holiday per year. That means I work a little bit more, but I guess in 5 years I will have optimized this even more. So start by optimizing it for yourself. You know who you are, and you are the person who can change yourself. No one else can do it for you. You need to do it, and do it by resting. Here are the 5 rest methods. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can download this Google document if you want to. Check out the link in the description if you want to work with me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And I see you in the next video. Cheers.